And joining us now on the show, legendary stuntman, fight choreographer, and even though he says he's not an actor, he is a cool actor, Leong. Al, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So our topic today is Die Hard, and you, of course, played Uli, the bad guy with a taste for candy. Many people are considering Die Hard a Christmas film now. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, if you like action, and yeah, then it would be a Christmas film. Yeah, I also looked at another film, Lethal Weapon, which also I think would be considered a Christmas film. The first Lethal Weapon, you know, that's
right.
also around the Christmas time. You know, okay.
So,
yes.
So you've now you're the star of 2 Christmas films then.
Now you can add that holiday movie star.
Holiday movie star.
Add that to the credits. So, you are known to have died a lot on screen.
I guess I've died a few times. Yes, I have. Yes.
Which one? Which is your personal favorite?
Well, I think what I like was Rapid Fire with Bruce Lee's son. The reason being is because the fact is they allowed me to fight. You see, a lot of films, you know, it is not your choice to do what you want to do, you know. And so on that film, they allowed me to do a longer fight, you know, and Jeff Ramada, who's the stunt coordinator, was great. I worked with him many times, and, you know, all these people, the director was great. Dwight Little was great, you know, Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee was great, you know. So everybody at film did a great job, yeah.
That's awesome.
Rapid Fire, solid flick.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to work with Brandon, and I mean, you've worked with a lot of great people. You worked with Bruce Willis in Die Hard, Kurt Russell, Big Trouble, Little China, you know, Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. You worked with Keanu, of course, in Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
The Rock and Scorpion King. Just so many others. Is there anyone in particular that you really, really just enjoyed working with?
Well, you know what? What I do, which is a little different from a lot of other people, is you know, at the beginning, you can't really pick and choose what you want to do. As later in the years, I started picking out everything I wanted to do. So if there's a film that I worked on that I did not like, I would leave the film.
Right.
You know, so because if I get a hold of the script, which is what I always try to do, is once I get a hold of the script, I try to read the whole story to figure out where is this whole story going. If it doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, then I usually don't like to stay with it. Yeah. So I got to say is almost everything that I've worked on in the last, you know, so many years, I was happy with, because the fact is I was able to pick and choose and say, no, I don't want to stay on this film. I'm going to leave this film. I don't want to name films that, you know, that I left. And yeah, I actually walked off of films, you know, and of course, you know, directors and everybody aren't happy with that. But, you know, if I read the script, I get a hold of the script and I read it, and it seems like it's not going anywhere, then I'm saying, well, you know, this whole film ain't going to go nowhere, you know. So if I see that and I can spot it, well, then I will try not to do it. Yeah.
Right.
So everything that I have done, I have been happy with.
Well, that's cool. I know you particularly liked working with The Rock, though, from a stunt choreographer perspective, though, right?
No, he's great. He was great. Everybody on that film, again, was great. You know, yeah. So that was a fun film to work on, too, yes.
Now, recently we spoke to Getty Watanabe, who's known for, you know, being really funny but very controversial with his depictions of Asian characters. And you were often cast as a villain. Now, what is your opinion of using, say, racial stereotypes in film?
Well, you know, like I said, I don't know if I would call that a racial stereotype. Well, first of all, what I got to say is this: Asians, for some reason, they don't support. You know, they don't seem like they support the movie industry, because you know, I get less Asian support than anything, you know, so I got to blame Asians on the end of it as far as any type of support, you know, good or bad, you know, yeah.
Very interesting. Now, do you think your ethnic background has helped or hurt your career in any way?
You know what? I can't say either way, because I got to say, because of the way I look, and, you know, like I said, you know, if my hair is long and I look different from a lot of the other Asians, you know, a lot of times I will get picked for certain things. So I can't say, I always say, yeah, sometimes I'm sure it hurt me, sometimes I'm sure it helped, you know, so I can't say one way or the other, yeah.
Now, you actually grew your hair out because of the Beatles, right?
Exactly. Yes. I'm a big Beatles fan. Yeah.
Now, what about the facial hair? Did you have decision of what kind of facial hair you had in your movies, or did they always say, okay, now it's got to look like this or look like this?
Well, you know, I think one time they I had a beard, and I think they said, you know what, you can't work this show with that beard. that again, sometimes if it works for the part and they say shave it, I will shave it. If it seems like, again, I work on a movie and I'm not happy with it, I will figure, I'm going to stay the way I am. If you don't, and if they're not happy with it, well, then I will leave. So that's where I work at. Like I said, in the business, there's people that are great and there are people that truly don't know what they're doing. It's both ends. So sometimes you work with the directors and, man, I mean, they're the best ever. And sometimes you work with stunt coordinators, they're the best ever. And sometimes you work with these guys and neither one of them know what they're doing. And you're stuck working on something, that just is not going to work, yeah.
Right. And now, throughout your career, you continue to just kind of improve and learn new things. I know at one point you just decided to master how to use a switchblade. In your book that I read, you mentioned some sloppy switchblade work in the Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull movie. Has there ever been a time that you've looked at a movie just that you didn't work on, just looked at a movie and just got angry at the stunt choreography in it?
Well, a lot of times what it is I've seen directors, they tell the stunt coordinator what to do and what not to do. And a lot of times I figure that if you're going to hire a stunt coordinator, hire somebody that knows what they're doing and let them run their part of the business, But like I said, I've seen both ends. I've seen movies that I thought it would have had better if they would have put a fight in here. And then I've looked, like I said, both ways where there's, the director overrides the coordinator and controls all the action, and I don't think that should be good. And I tell you, if you hire a coordinator, let him do his thing, But,
right.
And so the same thing, director, you direct your end, and let the fight. You brought this guy on. Well, let's see what he can do because he just made something better than what you ever thought, And a lot of times, a lot of people are stopped on both ends. I said there are directors that are very good directors. There are directors that are no good. There are some coordinators that are great. And there are ones that are bad. So yeah. So it's trying to get somebody that knows what they're doing and let them do their thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Were there ever any stunts that you refused to do because you thought they were too dangerous?
Well, this is the thing. Again, the same situation. When I get on the show, within the last. Of course, I haven't worked in quite a while because I've been injured. But when the last I would say at least 10, 15 years that I worked, I was happy. I work with people that I trust, and if you work with stunt coordinators that you trust, usually everything that they do is safe.
Right.
They always look at everything and say, let's do it this way because we do it that way. Somebody might get really badly injured because it's very unsafe to do it that way. And so those people I like to work with. So. And that's what I usually try to do, is work with people that know what they're doing. And when you do that, usually everything is safe, but occasionally sometimes things go wrong. But, most of the time they're more concerned about your safety also, which is a big deal. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Al, you are, amazingly, you're a cancer survivor.
Yes, I am. A cancer and a stroke. I had 2 strokes. Yeah. And the worst thing is the strokes have just torn me apart because they've crippled my right side. So when I write to you, you see, I don't capitalize because I'm writing with my left hand. I only have one hand that I can use on the computer. So so my right side is totally crippled, and so basically the strokes really slowed me down. The cancer, it slowed me down at the very beginning, but I got back in and I got back to work. But after I had the stroke 11 years ago, but they said you cannot work anymore, because it basically totally crippled me, But yeah, so both things if they're weird, I'm sorry to hear about anybody that had any of this stuff, but yeah, it is really strange though. Yeah, it really changed me though. Yeah.
Yeah, and it must be frustrating for you too, because you're someone that took such good care of your body. You trained, no alcohol, no drugs. I can only imagine that it was just you do all the right things, and these medical conditions start happening.
It doesn't matter. At the end, it doesn't matter. You never know. The only thing I can say is life is strange, man. You think or you hope that as you get older, everything just smooths out, but it doesn't work that way. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah.
What is it? When you were initially diagnosed with the cancer, what were you thinking during that?
Well, I thought I was dead because I was in the final stage of brain cancer, So they said, you're in final stage. They said, you got 50-50 chance of making this. We're going to give you chemo and radiation at the same time because we have to try to knock this out, So I was lucky. I had a friend that hooked me up with a great doctor, and and then from there on, everything, he told me, he goes, this all, we're going to try to do everything we can and see if it works. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic that you got through that, man. You're a real life tough guy.
Yeah, not just a tough guy in the movies. This guy's
real life badass,
real ass tough guy. Yeah,
because I know that me. I'll always remember you as one of the big badasses from all the movies I loved growing up. And what would you want to be remembered for?
I don't think there's anything that I really want to be remembered for. I just wish I could continue to work. So I don't think there's anything that specifically that I can say that I'm happy that I done, because it just seems like there's so much more that I could have done. But again, like I said, even if there's nothing that you can do, when you get on set, it's not your choice to say, this is what I'm going to do, because it's all up to, the stunt coordinator and the director, So a lot of times there's things that you may be capable of doing, and people will never, ever see it, because the fact is, of who is in charge and who decides on what they want you to do, Yeah, so that's what's kind of weird, yeah.
So for about 25 years now, there's been like this great push, this movement to get stunt coordinators recognition at the Academy Awards. What are your feelings on that?
Well, there's a thing called the Taurus Stunt Awards, which are given out by Taurus, and I think what they're trying to do is, I think actors don't want to be known as being double. Number one. Okay, I think. Well, so when it comes to the movie industry, I think that those guys want to do their thing. They want to say, this is our area. You stunt guys are another world. You guys do a different thing. So I, in my opinion, I think the actors don't want the stunt guys there. Because it just makes them look like, well, they didn't do it.
Right. Right.
Because there's a big action movie, but they really were not the main guys that did all the action. So I think they would want the idea of everybody thinking, well, you look at me, I did all this stuff, So I think they want that in. So I think the actors don't want the stunt guys in there. But, so I would think that in a situation like that, I understand that part of it, because they want the whole idea is they want everybody to think, oh, well, we did. You see that movie? Well, I did all that stuff, So I think a lot of times that's what they want, So I think they want to keep the stunt guys out of there. So, I think, and I believe that, what are you going to do? I mean, that's what they want. That's what they want. I think that's what's going to keep the stunt guys out of there.
Yeah, and I think it's a shame too, because I really, one of the things that we like to focus in on our show is kind of the behind the scenes stuff of movies, how movies are kind of made from the ground up, and stunt coordination and stunt choreography is one of those critical aspects that I don't think gets enough recognition. We watch these big action movies, and we see these great stunts and stuff like that, and I think we take it for granted that there's a team, that there's a great team behind making this look so good. And I would love to see stunt guys and stunt coordinators get a lot more credit for what they do.
But like I said, I do believe that's why they're sort of like, it's been a long time, because I know Jack Gill, who's just a great stunt guy, has been trying to get people recognized in as far as the Academy Awards. But I think what's holding him back is the fact is that the actors don't want to see it happen. Yeah. And you sent me a copy of your book, which I really appreciated. I ended up reading it in one day. It really is. It's such a great read, and I found it touching, and you were truly honest. It's an inspiring book. And now you wrote this after your 2 strokes, and you used voice recognition software to write this. What was the main motivation? Why did you want to write this book? Well, Beverly, who is my brother's wife, had said, you should write a book before you can't write, because, and that's what was starting to happen, because after the stroke, I could not write. So using that, what do you call it? Dragon.
The Dragon voice recognition. Yeah.
Yeah. That allowed me to actually, just say it in the computer, even though I slurred like every other sentence. I had a girl, Tammy Sastansky Chan, but she looked at the whole book and she said, what are you saying here? So she went through the whole book and she changed everything around, because I had so many sentences that made no sense because I was speaking so fast, in the that dragon thing. So So a lot of sentences were blurred. So she had to make sense out of everything I said. So she made a bunch of corrections, in order to make the book work, But yeah.
I think it was great. And for our listeners out there, if you can get a copy of Al's book, it's called The 8 Lives of Al Kabong Leong. It really is a must-read. Some fantastic photos in there, too, Al. I think you put together almost like a family album, if you will, of those great photos of all the people that you met and you worked with and behind the scenes. It really made me think that I was looking at like one of your, family albums, and it was just truly sensational. So.
Well, yeah, thank you. But the main thing was this. I went to 13 publishers in the United States to get that book done. Only 3 out of 13 said they would do it. They said they wanted $25 a book. And I said, $25 a book? I said, what am I going to sell this book for? I said, it's cost me a fortune. So I couldn't get the book made because the 3 people that agreed said they want $25. I said, there's no way. And then another friend said, I know somebody in China that'll do it. So I went to him, and we went to this guy, and this guy looked at the book for like an hour and a half, and he goes, I'll do it. And then he goes, I don't want $25 a book. So he wanted the same amount. So I said, these guys are good. And everybody goes, you got to take the color pictures out. You can't put color pictures in there. That'll cost you a fortune,
Right.
And then so I talked to another friend, and he goes, I got somebody in China who'll do it. And so this guy pulled got a friend to do this and that, and got it done, at a reasonable price. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt to get color pictures done. But yeah, I'm happy the way it came out. So everything is because of the fact is, I don't know, everybody said color pictures got to go. So that made no sense. But I got them in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it really does make the book just really just unique and personal in a way. So I think it's great, and people get a hold of it. You can find it on Amazon.com, and it's really great. So anyway, Al, we really appreciate the time that you took with us, and
I got one question. I got one more question. I just want to throw out there.
Go, yeah.
A fun question. Nothing's heavy, nothing serious. It's a fun question. What the hell's the deal with Mr. T? You did a couple episodes of the A-Team.
I did like 6 episodes with Craig Baxley, who's a stunt coordinator, great guy. He's now a director, and so I think I did like 7 episodes of that. Yeah.
Mr. T, is this guy like for real behind the scenes, or is this all an act all the time?
Well, that's the way I saw him. He was that guy. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh man, Ed, do you have anything else, Nick? Or
that's it. I just want to throw out one more for fun because I'm sure everybody wonders that about Mr. T.
Yeah.
And I think a first-hand account is fantastic.
That's great.
And one other thing I would like to say, I would like to thank the crew behind camera who never gets they never get talked about, and they do such a fantastic job, and all the people behind the crew, nobody ever wants to talk about them, They do an incredible job, before the actors and stunt guys get there, they're already there trying to get everything set up and ready to go, So, yeah, those guys are fantastic, yeah.
That's awesome. Al, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Stay in good health and have a great holiday.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Okay, same to you guys. My very best to you, and hang in there. And life is worth living, So everybody, just hang in there. But that life is what it is. But do what you got to do.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot, Al. Take care.
Okay, you guys take care. Okay, you guys have a great Christmas too. Okay,
bye.
Okay, talk to you later. Okay, bye.